We're going to start with our bell ringer. This is review of what we did the other day. We talked about f of x, and if you have a number in the parentheses, that means that x equals that number. If we are plugging that number into our equation for x, and then we can use our calculator. So when you use your calculator, you get 3 times -3 squared. -3 squared is +9. 3 times 9, so y is 27. We talked about this is a coordinate. So the answer here would be -4, +27. You could also use your calculator there. Here we have f of 3. So again, we said x is 3. So here's my x-axis. Here's 3 on my x-axis. I am on the graph line. I don't have to go up or down, so my y is 0. You need to keep in mind for x and y we have various names. For x we have input, we have domain, which is what we're going to talk about today, and we have independent. The opposites for that in the y are output, range, and dependent. So when we go to our notes, we're going to talk specifically about discrete domain and range. So discrete domain and range is data that is things we can count. Okay, so we don't have half of things. Our number of classes, our weight plates, questions on a test. On a graph, it looks like a scatter plot of points. And it looks like dots that are disconnected. Domain is going to be the set of all x values in a relation, and you can see here we will list them. We will always, 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 when we have discrete data, make a list of those numbers, as well as the range is the list of all of our y values. And here is the key right here. The numbers are always listed from least to greatest, and we do not repeat any of our numbers. So if we had 2 4s, we would only write that one time. So here's an example. We have a table here. So domain, remember domain is x, range is y. We use these little braces. If you can't draw it exactly like that, just draw a squiggle. And from least to greatest, our x values, -5, -2, 0, 3, and 6. Just making a list of those. Our range is our y values, -23, -14, -8, 1, and 10. When we come over here, we have a list of points. Remember that our list of points, right, on points, it's always x and then y. So our domain, or our x's, 0, 2, 1, and 6. I'm sorry, -2, 0, 1, and 6. And then our range is our y's, 3, 4, 1, and 0. Now those are not in least to greatest, so we're going to have to write them that way, 0, 1, 3, and 4. So remember, list always least to greatest. Here we have a graph. If it helps you to write the coordinates for the graph, -4, +5, -1, +1, 2, 4, 3, -2, so you can see those x's and y's, you can definitely do that. So again, domain is our x's, -4, -1, +2, and positive 3. Again, we are just listing because these are dots. They are disconnected. We are not going to connect the dots. And then our y's, negative 2, 1, 4, and 5. You could also make a table right there if I want you, so you can see the difference between the x's and the y's. Sometimes we have real life problems. Mario's Pizzeria has a build your own pizza menu. The pizza has a fixed cost of $11.50 plus an additional 55 cents per topping. Per is a multiply word. So if I was to write an equation for this, your cheese pizza is $11.50 plus 55 cents times X, or toppings. It says the restaurant allows up to 6 toppings. What is the domain and the range for the cost? Okay, it also tells us X is toppings, so domain, or X, is our toppings, and Y, or our range, is our money. So if it says we can have up to 6 toppings, maybe you just like cheese pizza, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Most pizza places, if you put toppings on half the pizza, they still charge you for the whole thing. And then for our range, now we're saying X is 0. So I need to take this X value of 0, and I'm going to put it here. Well, $11.50 plus 0.55 times 0 is just $11.50. You could also do this on a graph. So I'm going to change to my Desmos. My Desmos doesn't record on here, which is where I was going to go, but you can put this equation into your yellow calculator, and then you could look at the table like you did in 8th grade. So you would see for 0 toppings, $11.50, 1, $12.05, $12.60. So we're just going up by 55 cents for each topping. 5 toppings is $14.25, and then $14.80. So that is domain and range. On your assignment, this is all, remember, we are listing always, always, always from least to greatest. Have a great night.